It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's Superhero Slate. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about everything that's great. Like movies, TV, superheroes. It's Superhero Slate. Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes. Let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris.
I'm glad you survived to that next line, Chris. I thought you were dying right out the gate with the word hello.
I about did. It was like one of those situations where you have a cough, but like it's not really a cough, like kind of thing. So yeah, it was rough. It was rough. But who are you?
Well, my name is Mike.
And this week we set out to see with One Piece into the Grand Line. At least the first 4 episodes. We're gonna talk about the first half of the season. Season 2 here today. Spider-Man's trailer is releasing soon, and you might be asking us why we're talking about why it's releasing soon. I want to talk a little web dev we got into this week to figure out how we know it's coming soon. War of the Worlds wins the Razzies, the 46th annual Raspberry Awards, and more.
The Razzalicious Awards.
That's right.
So it is the mid-month of March, so we have to do some birthday shout-outs. First, birthdays that have gone by. Yesterday was March 14th, 314, known as Pi Day. So that was my mother-in-law's birthday. So
Hi.
Happy birthday to my mother-in-law.
Happy birthday, Mike's mother-in-law.
Yes, my brother's birthday is tomorrow, the 16th, March 16th, so happy birthday to my brother. And then on the 17th, which I believe you would know this since, Chris, March 17th is your birthday.
Yes.
Is that always St. Patrick's Day as well?
It is. It is one of the non-rotating holidays. It's similar to Valentine's Day, if you will. So it is. My birthday is always St. Patrick's Day, and thank you very much for the birthday.
You can always get a Shamrock Shake whenever he wants on any birthday anywhere in the world. Sure. I mean, I got to assume Shamrock Shakes are all over the world. I would hope so.
Yeah, it's mint, right? In ice cream, like is that it? I
yeah,
mean,
our Costco had them. I don't know if it was like a limited time thing or if they're still around, but like if you're a fan of soft serve ice cream just in general, like Costco pulls a mean sauce serve from their machines, and it was like green and minty. I hadn't had a chance to try it, but I'm sure it's great. Yeah. So it is really always funny conflating an entire country to one color and one flavor. But Ireland, that's what it is for you over there. You're mint in your ice cream to us, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't get to pick your birthday, but with my red beard and slightly red tinted hair, people do ask me if I'm Irish. And so it does line up for me very, very well. My favorite color is green as well. That works out.
There's absolutely an amazing creator online that I love. His name's, I don't know how to pronounce it because he's Irish, but it's Garron Noone, Garron Noone. He's this Irish guy. I think he's actually like professionally like a classically trained like opera singer, which is insane because his content online is just super funny. Like he'll either just make fun of other countries for not being able to consume as much alcohol as Ireland does, or he'll like review potato recipes. He like really leans into like his Irish I guess heritage and stick, and he's just all around hilarious. So I guess in celebration of upcoming St. Patrick's Day, go follow Garron Noone. He's really funny.
Yeah. I mean, we'll just start off in kind of what I was doing. I just told Michael later before this. It has been one of those weekends where it's like people, like my birthday's in the middle of the week, so like, do you celebrate it the weekend before or the weekend after, right? And there's usually St. Patrick's celebrations in towns around you. And I think our town might have been this weekend, I don't know. But we're under some very heavy winds, so I was like, I'll just not do anything this weekend and celebrate next weekend with people. And I've literally been playing hours of Pokemon Leaf Green in celebration of St. Patrick's Day, my favorite color, today. I bought it when it came out. What was that? Late February, and I just haven't had time to sit down and do it. But I will tell you the one interesting thing about this. I'm playing it on our Switch 2 connected to our TV through the dock, and I really just want to put this in my hand. Like modern screens are not meant to play games from the early 2000s because they're like limited by pixel counts, right? Like I'm like, I see where the lines are, and it's not like horrible, but you're like, I miss the effects of like the old screens. It's like why when I play emulators, I always throw on the scan line effects, right? Or the dot matrix for like older Game Boy games. So I'm like, oh, this is fine, but I'm like, I really miss the other, the original feeling, the look that it had, kind of along the way. So that's what I've been doing all day, Mike. I don't know about you, but I mean, it's been a nice weekend.
I mean, I've heard there's a lot of buzz about this new Pokemon game. It's supposed to be like Animal Crossing,
Pokopia,
but with Pokemon.
Yes.
So I wasn't sure if that was on your radar.
I did. I actually kind of opposite of you a little bit. I still like to buy my games physically. Because the one thing about Nintendo first party games is they never drop in price. Like ever. Like if I ever wanted to trade it in or sell it to somebody else or trade it to somebody else, you can get like a 1-for-1 value on Nintendo first party games. They just stay there. And so I did order it, but mine is not coming on not till Wednesday. And I've talked about a lot with people at work mostly. I'm not a cozy game gamer, and that's just not because like I just haven't found any that resonated with me. So I'm hoping by taking the cozy game methods and combining it with an IP I know and enjoy, this one might keep me in a little longer than the other ones have historically for that. But I'll maybe I'll have an update next week on that because it looks absolutely fun, and like my wife it's even bled into her feeds a little bit. She was an Animal Crossing girl during the pandemic, so definitely, hopefully we can have some fun with this along the way.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll see if Chris can find his cozy side by next week. Yeah. And if I had a segue right now into the news, Chris, I would hit the segue, but I don't have one.
It's cool. It's cool. So we've got two things. We've actually got the yin and the yang in this. We have Academy Awards and the Golden Raspberries. For the people who don't know, the Razzies or the Golden Raspberry Awards are essentially the opposite of the Academy Awards. They find the worst movies of the year and give them awards for being absolutely terrible. If you could avoid getting a Razzie, that is what you want to do. But the one that swept almost everything it was in this year was I think, was it Amazon? I don't even know if it made it.
I think it was Amazon Prime, yeah.
Yeah, is War of the Worlds with Ice Cube in it. It won the worst movie of the year, worst actor, worst script, worst everything it was up for, Mike. I've not watched this, but I do know the premise is essentially like watching someone kind of just do a podcast on the actual War of the Worlds original script happening around them.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of those not found footage, but like it has a term for it, like live screen movies. Like there's been a couple of these. I think John Chu was in one of them where it's like the whole movie takes place, like it's like a screen recording, right? Like you can only chat with other people if they call the main character or if there's like a FaceTime or something like that. So I believe it's just Ice Cube. And I think he has some sort of like governmental position where he has like the ability to like open feeds and stuff. And it's like, the War of the Worlds is happening, but you're watching it through the view of just like some dude behind a desk, and it's like apparently really cringy, really bad, and everybody hated it. But I do believe that this was like a pandemic movie that kind of got waited to release. Like, oh, how can we make a movie that now that we can't go anywhere? Like, I'll just throw Ice Cube in a room and just like we'll make it around it. So I hope Ice Cube got a good paycheck out of it at least.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm pulling it up. Let's see. I don't think it's a pandemic movie. I actually, well, maybe not. Maybe produced during the 2020. Scenes were completed in 15 days and had to be okay. So I guess it was in 2020. I assumed. I always assumed. What's that? Is it Greenland or no? Geostorm? Is that one of them that was also delayed because of the pandemic by like 5 years or something? So
no, I think Geostorm. I think are you talking about? Was it the moon? One where the moon is falling or something?
Maybe. Yeah. I don't remember, but it's like one of these. Like, it didn't really do very well. But anyway, yes, that one. The other one that won some awards was Snow White, but not necessarily the actress or the thing, but like anything all Seven Dwarves were in, like the worst. I think maybe worst CGI or like worst supporting actors. Won. So people were not happy with that along the way. So. The Razzies, I don't take the Academy Award seriously. I don't take the Razzies seriously, but it is fun that they both come out on the same weekend because it's not like because the Academy Awards are I think later tonight, and the Razzies were yesterday. Kate Winslet did win. I think was like a Razzie Redeemer. Like she's won awards historically, but has come back and did a really good movie this year. So they do have the Razzie Redeemer Award, which is super fun for that. Kind of along the way. Moving on to things that are going to be, I guess, on streaming. This is how we'll tie it into War of the Worlds. The Legend of Avatar Aang, I think. The Legend of Aang. I forget what the actual title is. It's called The Legend of Aang. I know that. The first merch from this has revealed the first looks at the upcoming aged up cast. I sent a collaborative shirt, one of the shirt designs over to you earlier. But obviously you have the aged up versions of Aang, Katara, Zuko, Toph, right? It's been a while since I watched this. And other people. There's tons of these things on this Twitter account that I linked here, or X account. But this movie's coming October 9th, 2026 to Paramount Plus. I thought this was theatrical, Mike. I didn't know they had updated it.
It was supposed to be theatrical, and then it got pushed to Paramount Plus. And then I guess depending on corporate mergers, we don't even know if the streaming service will be called Paramount Plus by the time this comes out. I think there's some early reports on that even changing, and I think even Ellison even said that he wants to combine streaming services if the obviously if the governmental approval goes through with the merger for Warner Brothers. But I'm just confused on why do this one. The one with Katara says Katara. This one says Zuko. They all say the characters' names, except for Aang's just says Air. But it's the exact same template. It's almost were these pre renderings when they maybe originally they typed in what their element was instead of their name. So I find that kind of interesting that it doesn't say Aang. But I had this funny moment when I saw this new released art of these characters as they're adults, and I was like, oh wow, cool! I finally get to see them as adults. And then I totally forgot that in The Legend of Korra, there's flashbacks that show them as adults. This is not the first time that they've been seen. So I was like, oh, well, either way, it's cool. I'm excited to watch it. I'm really going to be anticipating the quality of the high quality animation, because they've never done anything Avatar before, with the lens of a feature film, right? When you only have to animate X so many scenes with this budget, it's not this overarching season. So I think we're going to get some amazing fight scenes. I mean, that is obviously the story of Avatar is an amazing emotional story. Aang's such an awesome, positive, uplifting, character, like a Ted Lasso, if you will, or maybe even a Luffy. We'll talk about him at the end of the show. But yeah, man, their fight scenes were always amazing in both of their shows.
It looks like you think they're maybe 10 years older, 15 most in this one.
Oh, I don't know. They look pretty adult to me. I want to. Well, Aang, I mean, the thing is, they're all pretty physically fit. Yeah. So it's they could be 40 or they could be 20. I really don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe I just know I've seen again, as someone adjacent to this, I've seen the Avatar. This doesn't have Aang with his beard. He's
I was just about to say that. Maybe his chin is kind of obfuscated by his hand. Well, maybe he's got a little goatee.
No. Go look at the one I sent you in our messages. The one in our messages has the full face.
Is he clean? Is he clean shaven?
He's clean shaven, and it also has what's the brother's name? That's I don't know the names of these characters, Mike. This isn't my show. Katara's brother.
Katara, Toph, Sokka. Sokka, yeah. It didn't come to me until I started just when you're doing your ABCs of just wait, when does P come? When is the M? When is R?
Yeah. So so it's got him in there with his sword. It looks like a little water sword, and then Aang with just standing without being blocked. So I mean, to me, I think a trailer would be nice to see this in animation. I was watching in the background. It was the Dragon Ball movie, where they took the first It's kind of like how anime takes like the first like big arc and then just condense it to a movie. And I was like, oh, this is the movie because number one, it's widescreen, and B, there's shadows on the characters. Like it's like when they start shadowing the animation, you're like, oh, this is actually more production time. And it's not just as flat as like a normal episode. I think The Simpsons, that's like the first time you see shadows on The Simpsons was like the movie they did like 2008 or whatever. So, I'm excited to see kind of what this looks like. I mean, be maybe a little juice for me to finish book 3 before this drops in October. Moving on, in just a few weeks, I think 2 weeks away, Super Mario Galaxy movie, I don't even think it's Brothers anymore, drops. And this week they revealed some voice actors, including Donald Glover will be as voicing Yoshi. And I don't think, again, for people who may not know production, they didn't cast Donald Glover last week to play Yoshi. He's always been voicing Yoshi. They just decided to announce it. I think that was something I saw people like, oh my God, how are they going to get the movie done on time? When they announce, I'm like, it's not how this works. Like, this is just a reveal, really.
Yeah, I feel like this is a like Bill Hader BB-8 situation or Alan Tudyk in anything that he does. Like, I think he usually does like the little animals for like Disney movies.
Yeah.
So I really don't know if his voice is going to be identifiable. So this really is almost more of like I feel like a marketing push.
It is.
Anything.
It is. I've heard the Yoshi sound in a few trailer TV spots, and doesn't sound like him. But I did see someone say online like it's going to be one of those situations where he has a Yoshi voice, and then like there's like one scene where he does the full Donald Glover voice, and then just goes right back to saying Yoshi in his Yoshi voice, like kind of thing.
Yeah. Or like I feel there's always an opportunity where like a character in a movie like eats something like psychedelic, and it like
there are mushrooms
like
in this.
Yeah, so they're seeing something that they're not like they're tripping, and then it's just like, oh, Yoshi has like a real voice. Yeah, in the press release it was just like, yeah, Donald Glover, who's like is voicing Yoshi, and to me it's just like so funny because you made a great point. If they wait to announce it until the movie's about to come out because they want the marketing push.
I've also not seen any Chris Pratt at all promotion for this. Like literally, he has not been in anything or out doing extra stuff for this movie. So maybe they're just trying to distance themselves with that discourse from the original, and where Chris Pratt was voicing everything.
I mean, to the credit of the success of the first movie, even though I didn't really like it all that much, it was a juggernaut at the box office, and it just kind of cemented the fact that you can turn Mario into a movie. So now you almost don't even really need really need the actors anymore. I mean, I love the second bullet point of Luis Guzmán.
Yes, as Wart. And Wart, people may not know, he is the Lizard King from Super Mario Brothers 2, the video game. And I've seen he has you watched the trailer, right? There's like that casino level that we saw. That's his world. So I know he's there, and we'll be voicing him there as a character. He says more than just Wart. It's not the Yoshi. He actually has dialogue. And then Issa Rae is Honey Queen. And I don't know who that is. I have not played a lot of I didn't play Super Mario Brothers Galaxy or Galaxy 2 like actively. It was more like, oh, someone had it, I'll try it out. So it's probably from that. But it seems like they're kind of, we've already done the introductions to all the characters. There's no Donkey Kong from Seth Rogen, so it seems like they're kind of trying to branch out into more of the Mario mythos.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to new characters, we have Rosalina, Bowser Jr. Was Kamek was in the first
he was the
one,
first
right?
one. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and then so Wart is new, and then Honey Queen. So I'm curious if like Birdo is gonna have a voice, or any of the other characters that have kind of been featured in the trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Donald
think anyone's
Glover
going to be
voicing Birdo as well. No.
Yeah, no one's going to be too upset if Birdo has a voice. Like if Yoshi starts talking like phonetically, we're going to be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But if Birdo, I don't think people are going to care all that much.
No, not at all. Again, most of these games, they don't have even voice acting. They just have text on screen, or you hear them say their names, and like Mario Kart. So I mean, it's fun to do this, and yeah, I'm excited to go see this. This is what is it when we call them those popcorn movies, where it's like there's so low stakes for this. Like I can just go say, hey, point at the screen like Leonardo DiCaprio. Like I understand that Mario reference. and then go home and be pretty good. I did share with Mike the Yoshi popcorn bucket. It seems to be pretty popular. And then the Luma stars glow. They're LED glow ones, so you can get different ones. And then obviously I didn't put it in here, but I'm burying the lead here. Bowser's Cauldron, the tiny Cauldron popcorn bucket.
Which is so smart, and for some reason I thought, since it was like Bowser, and I think maybe in the graphic there's some like embers or some flames or something because it's Bowser, I thought the gimmick was going to be like, oh, you get like 5 kernels of popcorn, but they're like really spicy or something like that. But it doesn't look like spice is involved. But I do like that they're kind of going against,
size
type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, they've done the Galactus biggest popcorn bucket ever. Now they're like, oh, here's the smallest one. I hope it's metal. I hope it's die cast. That's like would be my only thing. I'm like, I don't want it to be plastic, but it's so fun that they're leaning into that rather than just going out. I think the Luma ones are pretty cool. They did see that. I think it's at the Galaxy or what's the Mario Land called in Universal? Is just Super Mario Land.
I think it's just Super Mario Land.
Yeah, the Lumas. They're getting the shoulder magnet Lumas, like they have like the Porgs in the group.
Little shoulder pets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have some shoulder Lumas as well. So marketing in full swing for Mario, and they really don't even need it. It sells itself. So they're just having fun at this point. So. As always, sign me up. I said this to you earlier. G.I. Joe. Paramount has canned or passed on Max Landis' version of the movie script. We reported on this last week. Danny McBride and Max Landis were each working on 2 different ones. Paramount will continue working with Danny McBride and maybe other people to do this rather than Max Landis, who has, like I said, it was not been working very well lately in Hollywood. So
part of me, this is maybe light conspiratorial, but we hardly ever get news about writers working on treatments for movies, right? And we especially don't get news when there's multiple writers kind of competing over the role in a way. So I kind of almost feels purposeful of just okay, it's okay, Max, we will admit that you have some good pitches, but you are very toxic right now out in the world. So we're going to kind of let this news leak and see what comes back, maybe see if people are, have forgotten about it. And they're probably yeah, it doesn't look like people forgot about Max Landis, and nobody really cares about G.I. Joe anyway, but they still care about you writing the movie. So we're going to go ahead and pass. I would have maybe let it go as leaked information, but we got a follow up a week later. I've never had a resolution to the drama so quickly. So I'm going to guess that somebody was nope. We're gonna put a pin in it. Well, maybe you'll get to work again before you die, but it's not happening now.
And that's surprising, knowing who owns Paramount. To be completely honest with you, no, they would do that. But at the same time, I don't. Again, by the time, much like the announcing of Donald Glover's Yoshi, by the time this actually gets to us, how long has this been in effect? How long has this actually been going on? Did we get late news that Danny McBride, Max Landis were working on G.I. Joe, and now? By the time that came out, actually we cut ties with him, or we didn't like his version years ago or months ago. I don't know, but I think G.I. Joe's a big enough property that this will cross the finish line no matter who's doing it. And Danny McBride is an interesting choice because again, he's been working on a lot of humorous, more adult themed things. So I wonder if what version he would crank out for this.
Yeah. We'll see if anybody finds a way to make me care about G.I. Joe anytime in the future.
Well, I will tell you, I don't care about He-Man, but the trailer had me hyped, for that movie. So I wonder if they can pull the same thing. Hey, we understand, this is something for, there's a very 40 plus, probably even a little higher than that now. 45 plus people are, this is for them, but we were able to update it a little bit. I'd be down to see what this is, but we lived through The Rock's G.I. Joe and Channing Tatum's G.I. Joe, so I think we'll be okay. Whatever's next, especially if they mix it with Transformers. They did threaten us with that in the last Transformers movie, where the G.I. Joes and Transformers would work together. So if we can get that Energon universe, Mike, we might be back. Shifting to the DC universe, Clayface is eyeing an April-May trailer release, according to some inside sources. This is an October 2026 release, so this lines up, right? That they would probably not want to, go too hard before the summer. So maybe, end of May, right when the summer, this is also HBO, right? So, or I guess Warner Brothers. So maybe it's tied in with Mortal Kombat, which is R-rated. And I assume Clayface might be a more heavy rated movie based on its dark subject matter. You think?
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta imagine every decision that gets made at Warner Brothers has to run through the filter of like, oh, we're being bought right now. Because you brought this up a couple weeks ago on the podcast of how many deals are kind of up in the air right now, and they're trying to get them approved or greenlit before somebody comes in and like, cleans house. Maybe your project is less likely to get dumped by Ellison if it's kind of already hit the ground running. So I think that probably attitude touches everything over there right now. So it's just like, oh yeah, when should we get this Clayface trailer out? What's a good time to start teasing people? Because I mean, if this movie comes out in October, that could be around the time that maybe things start to like get cleared for takeover. I've heard some people say it could take almost a year for this to go through, but with the current administration and everything, it could be tomorrow. It could be 4 years,
Well, the problem is with that, you assume that whoever's taking this over knows what they're doing, and they don't. They don't have any history with this. Like they literally just want their name on everything. So I think it'll be business as usual. Make sure dollars roll in until that is done. I think they just, again, it's all about how much money can we roll in the meantime, because that's all Zaslav, who's probably still going to be there, he wants to keep it lean. He's like, spend the least amount of money but also bring in the most amount of money. So I think a trailer for this would be there, because again, if this is under James Gunn's purview still, he probably would want it to play before Supergirl, but not like, don't wait until Supergirl, because we'll talk about this later. I think Spider-Man and Doomsday might grab all the attention for people, and you go ask, does the name Clayface pass Mike's mom's test? Does that pass her muster? So yeah,
absolutely not.
Yes, you're gonna have to really, really sell this one in a different way rather than, oh, it's a DC property. So we'll see how that is. Again, if it comes out again April or May, I really wouldn't be surprised. I think that just lines up with that less than 6 month release thing. We'll talk about trailers later. Man of Tomorrow, Aaron Pierre in the upcoming Lantern show officially joins the cast of the next Superman sequel, if you will. Also confirming the returns of Rachel Brosnahan, Skylar Gisondo, Sarah Sampaio, Isabella Merced, and the engineer. This is backwards. I put her name backwards. Maria Gabriela de Faria will play the engineer as well. Sorry. Which I actually didn't think she would return, but I guess she did live and stuff with Lex at the end of that. So I think they're filming some early stuff in April, May. A lot of the sets have already been done in the first movies, or not sets, but like also locations. So this is cool that they're bringing in an official Green Lantern rather than what's his name, Nathan Fillion, who might be threatening us with another Firefly revival or something this weekend today, or they're just going to be at the Academy Awards and nothing happens of it. One of the two.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. It could just be like a reunion of the cast just on stage. Just like, oh, you get to see everybody standing in a line.
No,
together.
I found it. It's actually an animated series with the cast returning to voice it.
Oh, okay. That's a little easier to to pull off, especially with a sci-fi budget. That's for sure.
Alan Tudyk and oh my gosh, Adam Baldwin both died in the movie. Like, so it's like, they can't really continue it. So it sounds like it'll be maybe some stuff that happened in between the show and the movie.
Yeah, misadventures in between, or maybe they'll like retcon the movie somehow. Who knows? Or maybe they'll come back as robots. I don't know what the Firefly universe can.
They're going to come back as space cops because Nathan Fillion is the rookie, and that's all he does these days.
Oh man, you just reminded me. We talk about Dropout and Game Changer occasionally on the show. Apparently, there is an episode of The Rookie that either just aired or is airing soon, and there's supposed to be a crime that takes place near or around Dropout Studios, and some of the Dropout cast is supposed to be
they're in it.
Be characters. Yeah. So I need to find that. I need to see if it's actually airing. Yeah. I've never watched a single episode of The Rookie before, but I gotta support my Dropout cast members.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that, or just read about it online. I think that's the important part.
Nope, I gotta watch it, Chris.
No, yeah, Mike has bought into the propaganda series, folks. Listen, you found hear it first here.
Hey, I still have to watch Zootopia too, and I guess that's got to be propaganda as well.
Yeah, well, he did. Well, I mean, Nathan Fillion does play the Green Lantern, who is essentially a space cop in Man of Tomorrow. Was the whole roundabout way of saying he's bringing Firefly back as well.
Season 8, Episode 9 of The Rookie, Fun and Games, which aired okay, I gotta watch this. All right, that's enough for me.
There you go. All right. Also in the DC universe coming out later this year is Supergirl. So they're on to the third composer of Supergirl in less than 3 months. So Claudia Sarnay, who's done the Book of Eli, End of Watch, which is a really obscure thing to pull out of her thing. Like, she doesn't really do anything that I know, is now doing the score. I'm not sure the turnaround time for music scores. I'm gonna lean against they announced Donald Glover's Yoshi the month before the movie. He's not recording, but music composers can probably work on it up until it goes to theaters, right? Like sound mixing and stuff like that.
I think so. I've had the opportunity living out here in Los Angeles where I've been able to go to test screenings before. It's a thing that just anybody out here can do. If you just happen to cross the right person with a clipboard on the sidewalk, they'll be like, hey, you want to see a movie before it comes out and give your opinion? And one that I was in before, I can't recall what it was. I feel like I remember there was something brought up about how like the music is still being worked on. And I think maybe the composer might have been in the audience as well. And this movie was due to come out in like a couple of months. So I think that score is something that can definitely be like one of the last things finished.
Yeah. So they originally had, I don't remember who the original person was. They left, and then Junkie XL came in, and then now he's left within like a month, and so Claudia Sarnay is in there. So I don't know why they shifted up so much, but maybe some of their other stuff will be in there, like Junkie XL didn't do Justice League, but he like provided the Wonder Woman sting for that kind of thing. So we'll see if any of that remains, but right now they're doing test screenings, and the film is rumored to be around 1 hour and 45 minutes without credits, which seems like a pretty good pace, if you ask me. Actually, I don't mind that. A nice little 1 hour 45 zip through space in there. So this is coming out in June, so I assume we're probably going to get what do you think? Tickets, trailers pretty soon, you think? Get your early movie tickets?
Yeah, maybe something. Yeah, I feel like we're still due like a trailer that has like the big sell in it, right? The trailers that we've had have been cool. They've been hype. You know, we've had like small little glimpses of Lobo, but I feel like we're still missing that trailer that
the
like
story
really shows us like the meat of it, you know?
Yeah, the story trailer for sure. I did just want to call out someone came into our comments on YouTube and told me our movie and TV release page was out of date. So I went through and updated all that last week for everything that we do know coming up, which is kind of sparse right now. But that is updated for anyone who wants to go check out our upcoming movies and release. And I just double checked because I needed to pull the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow date out of here. So you can check that out as well. June 26th, 2026. So April, May, June. So yeah, probably next month, April would probably be a good time to sell some tickets for that. Mm-hmm. VisionQuest on the Marvel side of things. This is the last live action series we know about over there. That's not Daredevil, right? Does that line up?
I think so.
So Mick Giacchino, son of Michael Giacchino, famous composer, set to score the upcoming Marvel series, and Mick is award winning in his own right. He has won an Emmy on The Penguin. He has done a bunch of other shows and movies in the past few years. So talent bred downwards, right? I guess for that one in the situation. They did note that they will preview the theme May 16th at this television gala in Poland. It had a very long name. I didn't know what it was, so I just abbreviated that. It's probably a very big event. But that makes me think that we might get a trailer possibly after Daredevil season 2, like since it'll be the next live action show. I assume this is probably not going to come out in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, but we have a Punisher special presentation. We know X-Men 97 season 2 is coming out soon, and this. So I don't know where they're going to release this, Mike. But if they're doing the theme, that tells me a trailer or at least a first look's got to be coming sooner than later.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder because this is kind of supposed to wrap up that, theoretical trilogy of WandaVision, Agatha All Along, and VisionQuest, right? So this is going to kind of be like a completion for that. We talked last week of how many theoretical seasons does Daredevil possibly have, right? So there doesn't really seem to be a vision for the Disney Plus side of Marvel right now. I'm sure Kevin Feige has ideas, right? Maybe they're kind of waiting for the new CEO to settle in and figure out maybe what is the strategy for Disney Plus.
I don't think so. I think it's Secret Wars. I think they're given an opportunity to reset things, and I think they can be like, all right, we got Daredevil out of the way, Vision Quest is done. Now we can start fresh with Secret Wars. Is my take on it. I don't think it's the CEO. I think it's more of like, we don't need to carry all this weight going forward. What is actually working on streaming versus what's not working?
Yeah, it is kind of curious. Like, if you can imagine all of the Marvel movies that have come out, right? That means there's an opportunity for any one of the characters that we've seen so far to be rebooted and possibly rebooted as a TV show, right? It's kind of like, what character do you think would be, given a better shake if we got more screen time with them, right? Mm-hmm. That would be interesting. Maybe like a Bucky would be fun. I don't know if it's Sebastian Stan or anything, but
Falcon and the Winter Soldier proved that does not work.
Well, if it was because we lost a lot of time with Bucky in between, but when
what about
between World War II and the present?
What about the I never remember his name. The other Wakanda, the upcoming, he's the king, but he's a vegetarian dude. Like some of those live action.
Yeah. Oh,
M'Baku. Like he'd be fun. His little kingdom over there, seeing more what he's.
Well, also, yeah, and it begs the question: Does M'Baku last? We just don't know what's going to persevere through this little reset. But curious to see what survives on the Disney Plus side.
Yeah. Well, either way, Vision Quest. I know Wonder Man was kind of one of the holdout remnants. Vision Quest has been filmed more recently, so I think this will be. Again, one of the kind of like Daredevil Born Again season 2, one of the newer pieces that can do something. And I'm just interested in what it looks like and how it goes because we've heard so many rumors and so many suggestions and the names. What will it be? How will it tie into anything? How will it wrap things up? How will it move forward? So this is interesting. But if they have a music scored for it, my guess is that it's probably just sitting in the hopper, ready to find a nice release date that doesn't weigh things down. Moving on to Spider-Man. Everyone wants to know about Spider-Man. If I had a nickel for every time someone asked me about Spider-Man's trailer the past 2 weeks, I could probably convince Sony to release a trailer with that money. I showed Mike this. A website for the movie launched, Spider-Man Brand New Day .movie. This is an official site. This isn't a fan site owned by Sony Pictures, Sony. And it's essentially just an image saying, exclusively movie theaters, July 31st, 2026. Sign up for updates. But if you go and look into the source and inspect this and look at all the URLs, the site maps, you can find that there's actually code in here with a trailer link. It doesn't play the trailer yet. It's like it's either coming soon or a redirect until they update it. But whenever this trailer drops, this will be ready to go. On top of that, I did see that all the trailers and ad spots have been rated in the past 2 weeks as well. Meaning this media blitz, Mike, we are on the cusp of it, ready to launch. We did look back historically. All the other Spider-Man movies started 4 months, trailers 4 months before the release. March 31st will be 4 months before the release. So I think this week I feel confident with the site. This week we could be talking about Spider-Man trailer and seeing what this is all about come next week. What do you think?
Yeah, it makes me wonder. Like, we try not to bring up politics too much on this show, but I wonder if they're
Not
just like,
today,
okay,
by God.
what day of the week will there be less talk about war in the Middle East and the price of gas that we can drop a Spider-Man trailer? So I kind of wonder sometimes maybe if they kind of like wait day by day. But I got to imagine there's so much media going around with a Spider-Man first trailer. They probably have to put like a date in stone. So if I had to guess, I think
Tuesday?
Monday.
You
I think
think
just
tomorrow?
I think just let it rip. I mean, it's funny if you're listening to this on a Monday, you probably already have your answer. Oh,
Yeah.
but actually, I don't know. Maybe the St. Patrick's Day holiday, maybe that clogs up the social gears a little bit.
I
So
really
maybe
do. As someone who's celebrated
Monday-
it every day,
Monday
every
or
year,
Wednesday.
it's not this holiday. Nobody cares about. But they'll go drink their green beer and they'll do it. But everything is in. Like, again, it is queued up. It is ready to go. If it's next week, it's great. If it's not till the end of the month, I guess in 2 weeks, I wouldn't be surprised either. But they are absolutely ready to get this out there. And I wish I could find more information on that, but we don't. The other thing is Sony has gone on record to say they're committing to a 60-day minimum theatrical run for the film. Spider-Man No Way Home almost grossed $2 billion when it came out in 2022, right? I think 2022. So they are absolutely ready to keep this running and get the money. People go see Spider-Man movies in theaters. They don't need to rush this one home. I also don't think it'll be a quality thing either. I think it'll be fine. So,
Well, this is also a trend. I think there's been at least 2 other studios that have kind of drawn a new line in the sand saying that, no, we are sticking to longer theatrical runs for our movies. I don't know if this is an attempt to try to get more box office dollars out of it. I don't know if they're, sensing a lot of tension from the movie theaters of like, hey, if more movie theaters close, you're risking your ability to sell movie tickets in the future. But I think maybe they just found out like, oh, the pandemic's not here anymore. People can go to the movie theaters if we want. We don't have to put this out so soon, because like I was definitely getting in the mentality of just like, I only kind of want to see this movie. I'll just wait like 5 weeks and then I'll stream it.
yeah. Well, and it's also one of those situations where it is like, again, there are dollar signs there. Bad movies, I think underperformers may get that cut. And even
Yeah, for sure.
And I even think in that situation, theaters, even though they don't like, they will support bad movies getting removed and better movies coming in, right? So I do think it does push and pull, but like the fact they know that the Spider-Man itself, even the worst Spider-Man movie still made a bunch of money, Mike. So I think we're still submitted for at least a 60-day run. This may run 90 days. I don't think if it comes out July 31st, we wouldn't get this on streaming until maybe Thanksgiving, if I'm going to be completely honest. And also, Sony, being a Japanese-owned company, do operate a little differently, right, on how they do things. So that may come into effect here. They may stick to that for the dollar signs, but I'm perfectly fine with this. Moving on to the Academy Awards. And why is the Academy Awards here at the bottom and not up top? Well, the thing is, there was an interview on The Hollywood Reporter where that they said, quote, there's going to also be a Marvel reunion for the superhero fans. So we're going to have superstar superheroes. And there's also going to be an extraterrestrial on the stage. So you can figure that one out. Number one, I don't think the extraterrestrial is related to Marvel. I'm going to maybe say that that's like something for Project Hail Mary. If I was a betting man. But a Marvel reunion, I don't think there's any extra trailer. I don't think there's any extra footage. I think there's just going to be some people out there, maybe hosts or people announcing the awards who are Marvel, and they just happen to all be there.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Like, oh, we need somebody to announce, I don't know, best special effects or something. So get all of these Marvel actors that happen to be in the theater up on this stage. I don't know. I haven't looked this up in a little while, but I don't think ABC/Disney has the exclusive broadcast rights for the Oscars next year. I think it goes to YouTube next year, if I recall correctly. So this is kind of like their last stab at it. So maybe they're just like, hey, let's let's juice the ratings as much as we can. So if it goes to
20
YouTube and maybe the ratings drop, they can be like, hey, remember when it was good over here?
It's 2029. So they did announce it. It's 2026, 2027, and 2028. 2028 is the 100th, and then it goes to YouTube for the 101st. So,
well, Disney's never gonna let an opportunity to synergize.
Oh yeah,
go away.
Yeah, they own it. They can put up. They can. It's all marketing cost to them. And Doomsday will have an enormous marketing cost if that's what they want to do. But yeah, I think it'll be like things. I think was Scarlett Johansson Jurassic Park last year? Was that 2025? I think so. It feels like it's been forever.
I'm trying to remember if it was like the end of 2024, and I watched it in 2025.
Rebirth was 2025. It was the middle of the. It was the middle of the year film. It was a summer film. So it was 2025. So obviously she could be there for, like you said, visual effects, maybe soundtrack, sound stuff like whatever. So there's gonna be stuff like that. Again, I think there's too many things for like Oscar campaigns and pushes, and this is all a bunch of BS. You're just making old white guys feel special at the movie awards. So I take no stock in them, but I am interested to see who wins and see if that it makes me want to watch anything else on the list for next year. But we'll see. Moving on, last bit of the show, Mike. We got some time here. We set aside some time to talk about One Piece Into the Grand Line, which is season 2. We're going to talk about the first 4 episodes, so this is our part 1 review for this. Mike knows this. I think everybody else knows this. Last Tuesday, I went to the local movie theater to watch episodes 1 and 2 at the theater. So they essentially did 1 and 2, one together. There was no end credits between 1 and 2. It just where 1 ended, you can kind of tell where 2 began. So I watched those in theaters, and I watched the other 2 at home. Mike, you've watched them all in the comfort of your own couch, right, so far?
Yes, the first 4 episodes. Yeah. I've been wanting to ask you, how full was your theater? Was it just full of a bunch of weebs? Was it like a good crowd? Was there hooping and hollering when they saw familiar faces?
So we'll start when I walked in. So I will tell you right now, number 1, it was full. It was packed. There wasn't an open seat. There was an empty seat in the house. They had 2 screenings at the same time even. That's how busy I know it was there. It wasn't just 1 screening. It was 2 at the same time and another one later that evening. So they did have 3 total screenings at the movie theater. Now, when I got in, everyone in the theater, like in the snack line, was pretty normal. But then I noticed behind us there was a younger girl, probably teenager, dressed like Luffy, like with the straw hat and like the kind of attire. And I was like, oh, that's really fun. So we get in there, we sit down, and we find our seats. And there's like one person to the left of me looks like a normal, 20-year-old person. To the right of us is actually an older couple, like probably my parents' age, if I was to be honest, in here as well. And I looked around a little bit. There were some, like what you would expect to be some weebs in here. But like overall, it was a mix of a crowd. I couldn't pinpoint, like, oh my God, there's only one type of person at this show. There were people from every look and feel in the theater at this time, which was really surprising to me, right? Because this is like a special event, but at the same time, I'm like, has One Piece, the live action version, not the anime version, transcended well beyond people who read the anime, or watch the anime, well beyond people who read the manga, and has actually gotten into regular people's lives?
It might be getting close. I knew this wasn't going to be a show that that I should try to waste time on for my wife. There's like so much built into this. I'm like, oh, you got to learn. You got to know this is based on an anime that's based on a manga, and it's kind of like retro '90s anime, but it's been going on forever, and it's that's too much going on. But there was a very specific scene in which I described from episode 3 to her with some crazy wackiness going on. And she kind of piqued her interest because it was so wild and out there. Mm-hmm. And then when we got home, I showed her like a little clip of it, and she was like, "What on earth is this?" And I could see there was a little curiosity behind those eyes. And then I finished watching episode 4 with her in the room. I did see her kind of like lingering around the TV a little bit more. So I think maybe she might be curious at some point in time. But I think that goes to the point of just like, I'm surprised, Chris, because you know, depending on where you live, you could technically maybe call it a major metropolitan area, but there's definitely more like outskirts of like suburbs around you. So the fact that I'm hearing that they had 2 like full screenings for this is like pretty wild.
And probably a third. Like I didn't look at the one like it was like an hour later, but like still, yeah, absolutely. And we've talked about this show, the first time when it came out, and we are not One Piece aficionados. We are not part of the lore. I've not watched the show. I've not watched the anime. There are over like 1,100 episodes, I think, on the anime. It's been a weekly show, and here's the fun part. I found out this past couple weeks, Mike. Did you know that all of the One Piece episodes up until this year are considered season 1? Because they never stopped to do seasons. Like, it's all one thing. Now, starting this year, they are actually starting season 2 and doing more of a quality over quantity approach, because they've literally been cranking them out in Japan for every week for about 26 years over there. So I am to find out, like, oh, you want to watch season 1 of One Piece? Great, here's 1,100 episodes to go through. Season 2 has 26. Good luck.
That is very funny to me. So I'll just go ahead and say, let's just jump into spoilers, because if you're listening to this conversation, this is about season 2.
Let's just go ahead.
TV show.
If I'm just going to go before we get into this, spoiler free. If you enjoy season 1, you will definitely enjoy season 2. If you did not enjoy season 1, this is not going to change your mind, Mike. Does that feel like a fair statement?
Absolutely. The through line, or should I say the grand line, it runs through this. You're kind of picking up right where you left off. And I think that's what you text me, Chris. It's like, oh, we're hitting the ground running. We're so back. Yeah. So yes, if you like the first season, it's all thumbs up.
Yeah. So that's really, if you wanted that before we get into spoilers. But if you're interested, let's go ahead and break this into spoilers, Mike. I got it marked here.
I wanted to talk about, because you were talking about, how technically it's all been like one season, but I know just how anime operates. There's different storylines. There's different arcs and stuff. And I saw there was some people talking. There's like a character in the very first episode, and like when they're in that, they're in that city, and that pickpocket kind of fails to pickpocket Nami, and he has a very distinct look to him, to where if you're not familiar with the anime or manga, which me and Chris are not, we only know One Piece from the live action TV show, so you got to filter all of our conversation through that. You look at the character and you go like, he has a very unique look. He must be a character from the anime, right? And I saw somebody on the TV on the internet talking about the TV show, saying that like apparently he's part of like a whole arc. Like I think you get to know him in some sort of like desert arc or something like that. But he just kind of like pops up in this city, and they get to know him. So I do find that kind of funny. Like, yeah, when you have thousands of episodes, they gotta make some calls when they're adapting it to live action. I did think that was kind of fun, of just like, this guy, he just exists now in the live action. We're just skipping his arc.
Well, so it's not even that. So the first episode is they go to Logue Town, right? Which we get reintroduced to Buggy. Is he call him Buggy? Is that his real name, or is it? What's his real name?
But Luffy calls him Bunny, but he gets
Buggy,
mad because his name's Buggy.
Buggy. Yes, and the return of the other pirate queen, who now has the slip fruit, who makes her really slippery and shiny, which is, it's kind of goofy. It reintroduced to everything that are there, but I looked it up. So the Logue Town arc is essentially the first one after they dealt with the fishmen from the last episode. It is 7 episodes of anime, and it is only 1 episode in this entire series. So absolutely, they definitely they don't speed through it, but like, they are not here to linger. They know what the filler is, and they know, hey, we know what people really want. And we're just going to kind of do arcs at a time, because eventually this show is going to have to wrap up. These people are going to age out. They're going to find other things to do. But I do appreciate that. And then one of the coolest character in this, Mike, is essentially what I would describe as a Final Fantasy character. And he's the one we saw in the trailer, Smoker, who always has 2 cigars, drives the waterproof three-wheeler bike, and actually has abilities to turn into smoke and like throw his body around as actual smoke. I didn't see that coming. But he is very much the epitome of an anime character with the white, slicked back, spiky hair, the gruff, I need to get my, I gotta get what I'm due kind of thing. And I love that the commitment to this character is all the way through this.
In classic anime style, he does some classic exposition to his partner of exactly what his backstory is and why he fights when they're in that bar. Oh yeah. I even like how the more senior captain, who is supposedly Luffy's grandfather, he was like, how many of those do you go through in a day? So I feel like sometimes there is a little bit of like external commentary of like, this character smokes a lot of cigars, we should poke fun at that.
I thought the belts on his arms were bullets until I saw they were actually just shotguns, like bands of cigars instead of shotgun ammo around his like his biceps. I'm like, oh, that makes sense now that I've seen this.
Yeah, it's just so campy. I mean, we talked about this in the first season. We just love how much they lean into it. I mean, when you get further into the season, you really start to see a lot of the anime kind of story structure like creep in, right? We have these Baroque work agents that are all numbered, and as the numbers get lower, they get stronger and more elusive. I mean, this is kind of classic anime hierarchy. They love doing this type of stuff. I love the kind of world building around the Grand Line. Like, obviously this was all figured out in the manga / anime, but I'm in love with the fact that they have to stop at these islands like overnight or however long they need to. It's such a fun way to like build story structure, right? Of just like, oh, every episode, or every, arc, they're going to stop at an island and they're going to have to stay there. They either have to fight something off, get back to their boat, or they have to wait for their log position to reset before they can even leave. And I was like, oh, this is so clever. Like, this is where anime always really shines, with like their premises and their kind of mechanics and stuff. Sometimes the story can go either here or there, but I feel like everything's operating really well, at least in this first half of the season.
Absolutely. And we are essentially Little Garden Arc. We've gone through 4 arcs in 4 episodes, 1 episode an arc based on compared to the anime and the manga, which is great because it's moving pretty fast. The Baroque works are, again, anime. David Dastmalchian showing up with a number 3, his hair like twisted to a number 3, and he's wax powers. There are giants. I mean, you were very excited when I got to episode 3 and got to meet is it number 9?
Is it 4 or 5?
4 or 5.
I think or is it 8? It's 8 because he is just one rank above number 9.
Number 9, and number 9 is the guy with the baseball bats who really doesn't, I think, have powers. I looked it up. He doesn't have powers. He's just kind of a one and done. But like he has whatever his he can make any bodily fluid explode. Pretty much is what has happened here, and he uses his booger bombs in the first episode.
Chris, I was watching this episode, and like we said, we have no idea what happens in the anime or the manga, and I'm just like, all right, we got a Baroque Works agent right here. I'm sure he's got some sort of special ability, and then they do this extreme close up, and like, wait, why is his finger going in his nose? What the hell is happening here? And then he flicks it, and then from what I can tell, real practically filmed explosion, because you can kind of see like the pops, a spark to give it a look. I was like, oh my god, his boogers explode. This is insanity. And what did I watch just before this scene? I watched a man in a gigantic powdered wig drive away in an ice cream car.
Oh yeah, the cupcake car. It's like the cupcake car that flipped over. Yeah.
It's like, what am I watching? This is insane. And this is kind of the scene that I explained to my wife, and she's just like, what are you watching? So like, this is amazing.
So the guy in the wig is Mr. 8, the guy who actually blew up. So he's the one who pulled his bow ties and the machine guns come out. And I loved how silly that was. Like, of course he's got machine guns in his wig. We saw it in the trailer. And then Mr. 5, like even was it Miss Valentine with him, makes fun of like, why are you wearing those stupid sunglasses? He's like, it's part of my look, leave me alone. Like, they all know they look goofy. Like, this is the Ginyu squad from Dragon Ball Z. Like, yeah, they know they look stupid, but they're gonna still probably kill you doing it. And what's really fun is every like one of the numbers has like I guess the second agent, I guess, like Miss Valentine, Miss Wednesday, Miss Monday, like all these people like also have like secondary, I guess, in commands with them who don't have numbers.
It's like kind of like hand of the king situation for each number, and it's been funny tracking those because it's like, oh, I'm not familiar with some of these like holidays. Like there's like the one that does the arms that come out of the body, like she's like Miss All Sunday or something, and I was like, I don't know what an All Sunday is. Is that like a religious holiday that I'm not familiar with? And then there's there's another one that I didn't quite track.
Well, there's Monday, Monday, Wednesday, and Valentine's are the two I know of so far.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see what else we have and how far the Baroque works agents like kind of go down the line. I was really into anything that happened in that bar on that Cactus Island, because first of all, I don't know who scouted the set. I don't know if they used their wealth of Netflix budget to build this bar, or if they've just found a place that was half constructed and they added to it, or if they did some amazing trickery inside of some volume. But it all felt so real, and it really felt real once they set the stakes of like Zorro is going to kill 100 people in this bar. And even though some of the like fight choreography was pretty simple, right? You know, it's just like one sword slash like takes down a guy. There was still some really cool stuff in that segment.
It's like PG-13 sword fighting. You're like, yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, it's once they do it the first couple times, like, okay, he's not really gonna like cut them all in half or kill them all directly. Yeah, there are some like, you know, kill shots they do show, but they don't do it for everybody. But I did read he actually does fight 100 people. You can count that whole scene, and he does fight 100 different people in that scene.
Yeah, he starts counting just so you don't lose track.
Yeah,
I love the part where after he gets blinded by the nun, which was like so funny, he hides behind a table, and then he like cuts the table in three and then kicks it at the people, and then the pieces of the table hit. And I was like, this is so fun. And like, I got to imagine that this scene fires on all cylinders, like in the anime, right? Like this is exactly like what anime lives for, is just like, we're telling you the stakes of Zorro. He's going to kill 100 people in this one location. Like, I gotta think that is really, really cool. In the anime, and maybe I'll go find it and watch it. But I was like, oh, this is great. I mean, and you got to, that was the third episode.
Yeah, it was third.
So
I didn't get to
see that in the theaters. But thinking of what you saw, the whale episode, the Laboon episode, I loved because like, I love this archetype of anime character, and I guess it's just not rooted in anime. It could be any storytelling, where like Luffy is just like, eventually he's always going to be like kind and optimistic, and he would much rather make a friend than an enemy. And I can 100% see at some point in time this whale Deus Ex Machina style. Like, if we've learned anything from James Cameron's Avatar, you always befriend the whale. Like, this Laboon is going to freaking fly out of the ocean just when we think there's no way our Straw Hats could win, and it's going to, like, flatten, like, a gigantic naval ship or something like that. And it might not be for a couple more seasons, right? So I love that. It kind of it made me feel a little bit like, we talked about at the top of the show, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, Aang's character does that a lot. They go throughout the series. They go to new villages, new towns, new cities, and they make new friends or solve problems. So I kind of love, like, that's what Luffy would rather do, is trust somebody rather than turn them into an enemy.
Oh yeah, and well, that's also like a Dragon Ball thing too, right? Like, Goku fights everyone. He's like, and then they end up being on the side later. Like, this is like what anime does, and that's why they kind of do it. Like, you know, all these people, they're not going to kill them and then have to create new ones. Like, they'll keep bringing other ones back as like heroes or anti-heroes. And the whale one was good. The man, like, again, the Crocus with his like weird little fin thing they don't explain, like he just wears it or it's part of him, I don't know. But when he's younger, it's like stiffer and like more colored, and then when he's older, it's like kind of bent a little bit. That's really kind of like little details along the way. And then in 4, the giants, like we knew the giants were coming. I love that they're like kind of Norse mythology giants a little bit. You know, they tease us. I do, of all the things that I know in One Piece, Mike, from the news, they mention the nation of Elbaf quite a bit, quite a bit, and that's going to come in much later. But I'm like, oh, that's a word I actually know because of all the other news articles. What is really great about episode 4, Mike, is that throughout this, I'm always like, oh, Luffy and the crew, they're in some situations, but they somehow get out of it pretty quickly, and it's a pretty positive episode. Where season 4 ended off, no one's in a good spot. Like, I'm interested to see how they get out of this episode, how they get out of this situation they're all in. I think it's like, it's got to be one of the holiday ladies who is actually putting the spirals on them and like controlling.
Oh yeah, like the little kid that at least I perceived them as a little kid because there was like giggling in the bushes.
Miss Golden Week, that was her name. That's that lady.
That's another one where I was like, what is Golden Week? I don't understand what this is. This sounds like some sort of holiday at a university where one of their like colors of their mascot is golden or something like that.
Yeah. Because
we both went to Purdue, and I feel like we were like black and gold, and I feel like there was a Golden Week at some point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was kind of our first episode of this season 2 that's kind of like a two-parter. Like, they kind of set the tone of like, oh, each island's going to be one episode, but it looks like this island will be 2 episodes. My guess, I don't know how they're going to solve it, but they keep talking about how like a courageous warrior deserves like a honorable like burial, and there's this volcano on the island. I think that giant is going to be thrown in the volcano.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be badass and really, really cool. I want to see that happen. But I love how practical the giants are done. Like they're just doing like tilt shift. They're just like, cameraman, lay on the floor and just shoot up at them and just make sure there's only sky behind them. And that's how we'll show that they're really big. And I even kind of wish the creator of this live action show could do something else for us. I don't know what else they could adapt, but I just love this kind of campy, non-serious, but take the right stuff serious style, because there's some wide shots where you see these giants like fighting, and it just kind of looks like a little cheesy.
It looks like old Godzilla stuff where they're projection mapping two guys in the distance. Yeah. But that's fine. It's
so charming. Like they are just like, they're having their cake and eating it too. They're doing a really, really good job. I can't wait to watch the last 4 episodes. Hopefully we'll be back next week talking about the last 4. But this show is a trip. It's so much fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I loved seeing dinosaurs, because I always complain on this show that Jurassic Park seems to have the patent on showing live action dinosaurs, and nobody else ever gets to show them. And I love that Sanji kicked one in the face, and they better show him cooking it. I want to see
the meat. He took all the meat back, so we know he's got some of that stuff.
I want to see a gigantic Tyrannosaurus steak that Luffy like puts half of it in his mouth. Like I gotta see that. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I think Sanji's still my favorite character.
Usopp's got his goggles that he's known for in the show in the first episode, so he's got his look. They're all firing off. I'm interested to see how the cursed sword comes into play for Zoro. I'm like, that's ominous for a reason. So I'm excited for that. I am a little sad we don't get to see the very briefly in episode 2 the Marines from last season, like the younger kid who was Luffy's friend. They picked up a new one who was like Zoro's friend. Zoro's like that girl who's like swords obsessed. So you can tell you're gonna build an anti-Luffy team over there, but are probably like gonna help them because they're all good people at the end of the day. So I do love it. It's just something about it. It's just so damn, like you said, charming. And I think it's the cast too. Like I don't know if someone could go over and do this again and just recreate the magic without the right cast and the right story behind it as well. I think if they do it, they've got to have the right people, because every one of these people in here, they're just infectious on scene. Even when Usopp's telling his big lies and is being afraid of everything, you're like, yeah, I get it. Like he's still fun to have around with this stuff. So,
man, I knew we were back with this show when She said, I ate the slip fruit. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
the silliest show ever. And then they just like gradually lift this ramp to like maybe like 2 feet off the ground. And
Yeah.
she's just like slipping on her feet.
Yeah,
with
takes her
bat.
shoes
I was
off.
like-
Takes her shoes off
I was
to
like-
do it. Yeah.
I was like, this is Saturday morning cartoon energy, and I'm digging it. And then when they defeated her by like Nami kicking out her sandals and then her getting hit in the face with a slingshot, and then she
Sneezes?
like fall. Yeah, and she sneezes, and then she falls into like a carnival booth, and that defeats her. I was like, okay, this is man.
And
this
then-
is I'm so glad that we are back, and it's like we got the same energy that we had last time.
Yeah, there was no ramp. You like we already know who the team is. We knew who these people were. Let's get going, and they're delivering. So I'm excited. I will tell you the one thing I did get from my theatrical experience. Joe Manganiello was at the end of it in person, doing like a video. He has been known to play one of the characters in the show, but he's also said they're filming season 3, where he's going to be a big part of that as well. So it was Joe Manganiello with his little teacup chihuahua dog telling us about how he was filming season 3, and he might show up in season 2. So I don't know where that is yet. I've not looked it up, but I'm excited to see more as we go through this.
Yeah. And also, don't worry, the snail phones are back, people.
They never left. They never left.
You're gonna have to 3D print one of those.
Yeah, well, maybe I can find an old corded phone and convert it into a snail phone as well. So, I love it. All right, Mike. Well, if people want to know what you're up to, where on the Grand Line you're at, where can they find you?
Oh, it's so easy to do. You can go read my webcomics at pickledcomics.com or liferewardsrisk.com. Chris, people want to catch up with you. Where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram, Valdan87, VALDAN, or video game systems of the same name. People want to know where they can come back and listen to our next full One Piece Into the Grand Line review, or maybe that Spider-Man trailer next week, or some older stuff. Where can they get all them goodies?
Oh, superheroslate.com. Superheroslate.com. Superheroslate.com, folks.
It's
We're on
.com.
Apple
Sorry,
Podcast,
you made me do the Homestar Runner thing, and I couldn't remember.
YouTube, Spotify. We are getting pretty close, I would say, to 1,000 subs on YouTube, and I think that would be really, really cool if we can make that happen. So if you're a regular listener to the podcast, just in like your RSS feed or your podcast app, go give us a follow on YouTube. I think that would be really cool. I feel like the algorithm will give us a little bit more love if we can hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, and we would love that. So that's your call if you want to be a super fan this week. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. This will be like our YouTube sub drive, folks. We're doing it right here, right now. I just thought about doing it right here at the end of the show. Yeah, reach out. Let us know what you're watching, what you're listening to, what you're playing. Are you playing that new Pokemon game? And we'll be here every week, folks.
That's right. We will see you guys next week.